Why hello there, and welcome back to Let's Make Us a Character. And this time we'll be getting into the much-derided Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition. The most controversial edition of the game, as well as the one with the shortest lifespan, having just under 4 years between its first and final releases. So let's get into the little edition that couldn't, and let's make us a Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition character. So once again, we will start by generating our ability scores, and this time we have 3 methods available: a standard array, a point buy system, and rolling. And since the standard array is boring and we've been rolling for the last 5 videos, let's go ahead and use the point buy system. We are given some base scores and 22 points to adjust them. So let's give ourselves 18 strength, 14 intelligence, 11 charisma, and we are out of points, so let's just assign our remaining base scores. Our race options are now Dragonborn, Dwarf, Eladrin, Elf, Half-Elf, Halfling, Human, and Tiefling. The most of any edition up to this point. Not the best, but the most. Each race gives a +2 bonus to 2 ability scores, except for Human, which gives +2 to 1 score of the player's choice. And our class options are now Cleric, Fighter, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Warlock, Warlord, and Wizard. The fewest of any Advanced Dungeons & Dragons edition. And since this is really our only chance to do so, let's make an Eladrin Warlord. Each ability score gains a modifier, and all characters start with 100 gold, so let's pick up some chainmail, a light shield, a long sword, and a standard adventurer's kit, which contains various adventuring essentials. And the total weight of all of our equipment is well within our carrying capacity. As an Eladrin, we get a +2 bonus to our intelligence and dexterity scores, a base speed of 6, which is then lowered by our armor to 5. We begin speaking Common and Elven, gain low light vision and the ability to meditate in place of sleeping, and gain the Phase Step power, which lets us teleport 5 squares once per encounter, as well as some other stuff that I'll get to when it comes up. As a Warlord, we get starting hit points equal to 12 plus our Constitution score, and 5 hit points per level after that. Half of our hit points is our bloodied value, and 1/4 is our surge value. We also get a number of healing surges equal to 7 plus our Constitution modifier, which I will explain later. We also gain training in 4 skills from our class skill list, plus 1 additional skill of our choosing for being an Eladrin. Training gives us +5 to the skill, to which we add 1/2 our level, the related ability modifier, and any other relevant modifiers. And after this point, we don't get any more skill training as we level up, so hopefully we chose some good ones. We also gain the Combat Leader ability, which grants us and our allies a +2 bonus to initiative, to which we add 1/2 our level and our dexterity modifier, and one of 2 Commanding Presence options. And we will take Tactical Presence, which grants allies a bonus to attack rolls equal to half our intelligence modifier when they use an action point, because the other option is charisma based. We get 1 feat, and we will choose Tactical Assault, which adds our intelligence modifier to the damage of attacks benefiting from our Tactical Presence. Our armor class is equal to 10 plus 1/2 our level, plus 6 for our chainmail and 1 for our shield. If we were wearing light armor, we would also add the higher of our dexterity or intelligence modifiers. We also have Fortitude, Reflex, and Will defenses, which are all equal to 10 plus 1/2 our level, plus the higher of our strength or constitution, intelligence or dexterity, and wisdom or charisma modifiers respectively. We gain a +1 bonus to our Will defense for being an Eladrin, as well as a +1 bonus to our Fortitude and Will defenses for being a Warlord. Basically, the defenses work like the reverse of standard saves. Now, instead of spells and abilities having a difficulty class that is saved against, everything is replaced by powers that are rolled like attacks, but may target any of these defenses. So for example, a fighter power may be rolled with a character's strength versus the target's armor class, whereas a wizard power may be rolled with intelligence versus fortitude, and a cleric power wisdom versus will. And for our Warlord powers, we get Inspiring Word, which twice per encounter lets us allow our allies to heal. Basically, the way healing works in 4th edition is that once per encounter you can spend a healing surge to heal your surge value, and outside of combat you can just kinda spend them whenever, and healing powers just allow characters to spend surges during combat outside of that one. In this case, also healing an extra 1d6 hit points. And if you run out of healing surges, you just can't heal anymore that day unless you have one of the handful of powers that lets you heal without spending a surge. We also get to choose 2 at-will powers, which we can use unlimitedly, 1 encounter power that once used cannot be used again until the character takes a short rest, and 1 daily power which once used cannot be used again until the character takes an extended rest. All of our powers are weapon attacks based on strength, so our bonus to all of them is equal to 1/2 our level, plus strength modifier, and a +3 proficiency bonus for our longsword, which deals 1d8 plus our strength modifier damage. However, some of our powers do have secondary effects that are based on either intelligence or charisma, which does somewhat limit our choices, but not as badly as clerics, paladins, rangers, and warlocks, who each have 2 primary attributes, with their powers divided between the 2, which, unless you have good scores in both, kinda cuts your options in half. And is something that was more or less phased out in the 2nd player's handbook. But yeah, this character is done, so I guess we'll level up now. At level 2, we gain 5 hit points as well as a feat, and we've chosen Toughness, which gives us another 5 hit points. And of course then everything based on our hit points is adjusted accordingly. Also, since half our level is now 1, everything that gets half our level added to it goes up by 1, which is pretty much everything. We also gain a utility power, which is a special power that isn't an attack. And at level 3, you know what, actually, just to make this simpler, here's what every character gets at every level. Every class has the exact same progression. At specified levels, they get new powers, new feats, and ability score increases. The only really notable thing being levels 11 and 21, where we get a Paragon Path and Epic Destiny respectively, which are like little extra class options that give a handful of abilities and powers each. So, that's it. A Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition character. Overall, I don't think it's as bad as people say at the lower levels, and if you stick with the original core or essentials books, which personally I thought were a step in the right direction, but a direction they chose not to pursue with future releases. And there were a lot of releases, with a noticeable power creep which could lead to somewhat overly optimized characters. I dug out one of my old character sheets, and I had a character at level 16 who had a plus 24 attack bonus, and 2d4 plus 4d6 plus 13 damage on an at-will power. And a lot of the content was unbalanced and just kind of poorly put together, leading to dozens of errata to try and fix the myriad of issues, which was fine for the online subscription service that they were pushing, but patching physical books is a little more messy. And honestly, I think they kinda started running out of ideas near the end there. Eventually, you could be a pixie vampire. Pixie was an available race, and vampire was an available class. And on a related note, playing a pixie vampire is probably the only way you'll be able to get me to play 4th edition again. So yeah, overall, a game that wasn't like inherently doomed to fail, but one that was doomed by the decision to just pump out as much content as possible as quickly as possible, instead of like a small selection of well-designed and tested content. Alright, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and check out the other quality content. There's only one Dungeon and Dragon left, so if there are any other games you'd like to Let's Make Us a Character for, let me know in the comments. And until next time, keep on rolling.